I like doing pottery, especially native pottery. It's very important to learn like the crafts of your culture. It's also nice that we do it as a family, because there's such little potters in the community.
We're all Jicarilla, it's a shared art that we can pass down to one another, just keeping the girls with the art form of what their ancestors did. It dies off when you don't do it, when you don't speak about it, when you don't talk about it, when you don't think about it or you don't do it, your hands forget, just like a lot of us, we don't speak Jicarilla fluently, And maybe I think it's a fear that our grandparents didn't speak it to us because they were in the boarding schools. They grew up in there and they were told not to speak Jicarilla. They were told not to practice their religion and not to be who they were. Their hair was cut, their braids were cut, And one thing that stuck with me was I saw a painting when I was a kid. It was a native family and they were watching their kids on a train. All this train was full of all the native kids and the grandmas, the aunties, the moms. Everybody was on the mountains watching their kids being taken, and I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine not waking up and eating breakfast with my family, or saying goodnight to them, or, all this stuff. So being here and being on this ground is real important to me and my family. It's sad to know that how we all the sad stuff that happened, but it's amazing to know that we're all still here, and that we're Jicarilla, we're Apache. These girls here are what are our chance to do something right in the world. I think Native American kids, they learn hands-on, they learn being in the woods, they learn being with their grandmas, their aunties. I don't think if I had that connection with my great-grandmother and my grandmother with that, I don't know if I would have turned out the same kind of man that I am. I grew up helping them with everything they wanted. I was lifting this, moving that, and helping with fry bread dough, tortilla dough. We all come together, we all know what to do because of our grandparents. There'll be one grandma, and then she'll be like, "You guys go over there, cut potatoes. You guys go over there. There's the meat shed over here. You ladies go over there, go get the fry bread done. We got all these people to feed. We got to get it done now." And I worked in kitchens. I worked in restaurant kitchens where they can run a kitchen better than like sometimes chefs and stuff, And they know how to feed groups of people, and that means you got to keep cooking. You can't stop, and that's my mentality as a parent. Keep cooking.
I just love when they cook a lot, especially on my birthdays. I really loved my parents' pots and stuff because they're really pretty to look at.
Just like the creativity in it, it's really nice. Like how we all do our own thing and all of our style comes out.
I like all of us being here together. The process of making pottery, you can't really have a bad mindset before you do it because, if you do, it's going to come out kind of bad. You have to be really in the moment and calm because if you don't, it's just going to crumble on you, not come out that great.
It was very nice being out here, like how it was a long time ago, how it would be when the older Apaches used to make pottery up in the mountains, up in nature. They used to stay up there for weeks. They used to make pottery up there, who knows how many, and then they used to fire it, bring it down. We have it easy, It's very nice that we get to connect with our culture through pottery, the pottery that we do.
It's amazing right here. You can hear the birds chirping. You can see little prairie dogs and bunnies and deers running around everywhere. That's very nice to be out here, to be honest.
What made us think that living in a city on paved roads, what made that happy? What turned that to paradise? When did that become paradise? When this is paradise? I think so. When you hear those birds, would you want to be anywhere else? I know this might not be where our home is. This is a reservation we were put on, but this is the home that we make and made for ourselves. But all we're here is to make sure that this land is here for them and their kids. When their kids come out here, they can put their feet in this ground. They can know that this is home. Now that we're able to keep our children, we're bringing them home. We're not letting them go.